Mhm.
But the settlers came was originally heavily melanated Europeans.
Mhm.
Those people that we call Native Americans with the Genghis Khan blood, the Siberians,
The Mongolian, yeah, the Mongolians. Yeah.
go back to who Rome was fighting.
Hold on, my dog said, "Hey, chill." My wolves. Hold on, my wolf privates. They're out of control. Chill out. But it's okay. They're probably seeing the Insecticons outside. Hold on. Come on. Good girl. Over there. Okay. Sorry about that.
Mhm. Okay, so they brought their servants with them. The history books say they brought servants with them.
Mhm.
They also numbered the servants they was bringing with them. The Trail of Tears was after King George put a military buffer zone between West Florida and East Florida.
Okay. Okay.
Right. In West Florida, what we call it today, Louisiana,
Mhm.
they fighting the French.
That's right.
In East Florida, they fighting the Spanish.
That's right.
The English, King George, inserts his military between them because we was going south and east to support the Gullah Wars. Then we stumbled across the Huguenot Wars, the French. So we begin to concentrate our forces in the south. This is why most of us can trace directly south.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then some of the ones of us that can trace south can trace back bloodline a very long time on the land, pre-Columbian, if you want to know, like
Absolutely.
Chief Warhorse, for example.
Yeah.
She got a family history dating back like 13,000 years,
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful.
right? So that means that she was here long before Columbus came.
My tribe
Her
is from
bloodline was here.
Caribbean. Yeah, we were there in Caribs where we were there way before.
Now,
Yeah.
if we remembered our culture, we would have knew that all of the South was populated with family farms from distant tribes, and they would all make pilgrimage
That's
to
right.
Big Mama house
Hmm.
for the cookouts and the harvest festivals that they monetized and turned into holidays.
Yes, yes. And my grandmother would
Right.
tell me, yeah, we have the in the Caribbean, we went to the South and we did a lot of exchanges, even exchange with marriages, like we intermated, within the tribes. Yeah.
And most of our marriages was appointments. They wasn't this European romance story that
No,
ain't gonna never come true.
no.
Because most of us don't know it's talking about a man and a boy and it got nothing to do with no women.
Hmm.
But they just paint them up in the modern stories and tell it to us like women involved. So the elemental Q community ain't new. We've been chasing drag queens across the land since they got here. Talking about a drag race.
Good, Monkey King. Great.
Half of the first ladies was drag
First,
queens.
first man. Mm.
I don't think
Balls of
they
mass,
first. They
balls of
might
mass.
be.
You lift up the skirt like balls of mass destruction. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Woohoo! Mm.
Look, Barbara Bush name was Big Buddy.
Oh, I know, right? Woo!
The
She
only
was.
ones I think was married to a woman that I can
Oh,
I was
Kennedy.
JFK,
Yeah, Kennedy.
Ronnie,
Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
and um
I see
Howard
that.
the Duck,
Which one?
Donald the Duck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Millennia. Even though I think she's an insectilian, but just a little but of that hybrid in her, covering her eyes.
You think she a what?
She's an insectilian. She looks like a bug.
No, she's Pleiadian.
She's got the pheromones on him, like she's like, like shh, blowing it on him. She's controlling that house. That's why he's orange. He got an insect, probably stinging the hell out of him. Got
And he called him Agent Orange in the CIA for his negotiation tactics.
wow.
Now, if you pay attention, they tell you who they're gonna throw him on. Killer is Evergreen.
Oh, she's diabolical. The face, the baby peeler, the baby face peeler.
Mhm. What's the Evergreen?
It's a tree.
Yeah.
The tree.
Okay. And then you remember you have the bushes.
Oh, you're like giving me like brain orgasms.
Go back to the Vietnam War. They couldn't get to the enemy. They couldn't drain the swamp of the Viet Cong because the thicket of the trees and the brush, the bushes, was too thick.
Yeah, it's
And the
very,
only thing they needed something that would incinerate it.
that was Agent Orange.
Agent Orange.
And my mother was a special ed teacher, and she actually had students in her classroom whose fathers were in Vietnam, and the children had all kinds of weird
Messed
mutations.
up stuff.
Yeah.
That's because they wasn't just using Agent Orange. They was using um, radioactive chemicals as well. In
Oh,
a period.
yeah.
It used to be a video. We used to talk about it when back in the 80s called A Shock in Asia.
Say it again.
It was called A Shock in Asia.
Oh,
You ever heard of Faces of Death?
well, we know of Generation X. We used to watch that as young people.
Right.
The young people would be mortified that that was our entertainment.
The Shock in Asia was about all of the weird stuff they do over there.
Oh, was it on Faces of Death?
It was
Oh,
something like that around that
okay.
time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the Faces of Death. That was the stuff. I watched all
Yeah,
three
the
of them
guy who
like a
came out,
thousand times a piece.
we watched. Remember the guy who came out of the plane and he got eaten by the alligators?
Oh
Just
yeah,
I'm sorry, y'all. It's morbid. That's why we're the way we are.
those Sobek priests, the
Those
ones who used to charm the alligators, was called Sobek priests.
Sobek priests.
You still got tribes in Africa, and you still got pockets in South America and in Louisiana where the old man come out, he might slap you or something. Hey, yo, come on over here, Gators.
No, yeah, they don't even in South America with the caiman, which are like and like little alligators, the little capybaras, they're so cute, like big rats. The capybara, 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 capybara. I love this song. Capybara, capybara, capybara. Those little capybaras are like sitting on alligators. Alligators on the caiman don't bite them. And there were people who swim with them who in the Gully, wasn't it the Gully? Which tribe in the Mississippi? They used to, the brown indigenous were swimming with them. They were,
You know what stopped it, don't you?
wait, say it again?
You know how they stopped it, right? They
By
started
feeding
gator
the
baiting our
babies.
children.
Yeah, they start putting the babies and throwing
And
them in the
that's
cage.
what made them have a taste for our flesh because they wouldn't eat us.
That's right.
But they eat a stranger that don't belong over here because his scent is different.
Hmm.
But the ones from here, they didn't eat us.
They didn't.
We was literally one with nature.
Hmm. Like in Avatar, like in
Yeah.
Avatar, really,
We had treehouse villages.
which I plan to live in eventually.
Mhm. You never had to come down to the ground for nothing. They
I
had they had life figured out how to live in the treetops. Shout out to the treetop Hyrule.
well, but the trees also pheromonically, like even the things that they did, the way that they uh created fruit. The fruit actually was when it grew, it actually grew every single nutrient that was specific to the certain people living there. We were
Yeah,
symbiotic with the trees.
yeah. We remember when we used to use the bathroom. We used to use the bathroom under the tree,
That's right. That's right. Because
right?
it was eat fruit. We were eating more natural and organic too. Yeah.
The the soil then has your energy signature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Same way you
It's,
pee in your garden to keep, I mean, to
yeah.
keep that inside.
And where you lacking that, Mother Nature adjusts the fruit to match your biology.
Mhm.
That's why mass slaughter was prohibited.
Mm,
We didn't slaughter animals that we didn't have a relationship with.
it's true.
And they understood that they was there, what they was there for, to feed the people. So we didn't mass slaughter nothing, but we use every part of
Well,
everything that we killed.
for everything, the antlers, and also gave honor, even now with my children, give honor to every animal that we engage with for the
Yeah.
life that was given, and it wasn't a sacrifice that was in vain.
You know, that's where the
Mhm.
culture come from.
Yes, absolutely.
All of the earth tribes would honor what they kill before they eat it.
Mhm. Kosher and the what is it? The what's the other one? The Islamic one?
Halal.
Halal and kosher. And they don't mix the milk of the mother with the flesh of the child, which is parv. You separate, even in the fridge of Jewish people, you separate the milk, any dairy, from any of the flesh, even the utensils. It's an energetic thing. Yeah.
But really, the only the livestock they have now, the bovine beef, to use it from bison fat,
Mm-hmm.
the fat of
Ghee,
the lamb.
yeah, and tallow, which I
Mhm.
still use. And we're not supposed to use like oils, uh um like oils, like saturated oils. Like those oils are block the arteries, and a lot of
Yeah.
the oils is toxic when you cook it, when you warm it up. It changes
We
out
used,
chemically.
we used to
Yeah.
use a lot of whale oil too.
Mm-hmm. 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 Way different. Yeah.
They
Everything.
done decimated the whales.
Do you imagine, even with the story of the buffalo, that when they killed all the buffalo, which was the main source of food and nourishment for specific tribes? I mean, just to think of how heinous these beings were who came over here, who did that. And there's been no
Well, you got to remember why they said they did it. Then you know your culture, and then you can look at the background and see why they really did it. They said for every bison they killed one of us.
That reminds me of Avatar. Remember when they killed the whale and it was a
Mhm.
symbiotic with the women? It was like they were siblings. Oh, that gave me
Yeah.
a shock.
So we had what's known as the Bison Clan became known as Buffalo Soldiers.
Mm,
They
buffaloes.
make fun of them in the TV show called The Flintstones.
Did they? Wait, they did?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I gotta say, because I watch the Flintstones. Oh, you're gonna teach me something today, or many things today, right?
Yeah. They make this is the Bison Clan in satire.
Holy cow!
They got a whole bunch. The old Mississippians, they call them the Big Red Brute. That's in a different cartoon.
Yeah. Oh my
Then
God.
the ones that the rapping Indians
Mm-hmm.
that don't nobody know what he's saying but the chief, that was an underdog. They was call them the Gopher Indians. Now we don't know what they was making fun of us for until we look back in retrospect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The scout chief, because he had one feather, that means he was in training. He was sabotaging the the European forces. He would talk in front of the European forces. He would be rapping and pop locking. So they don't know what he's saying. But the old chief with the full headdress sitting there listening to him rapping, and when he come back, he say, "What's the plan you got?"
Holy cow! I didn't know. Didn't know. Wow.
Yeah. So they've made fun of us ad nauseum in the cartoons.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, as we're talking about that and we're going forward into the new administration, let me ask you a question. I don't know if you saw, did you see the inauguration or no?
I didn't watch it.
Okay. There's a part when Trump was going to put his hand, there was like two Bibles, two books. You know how with president, the pooping president, the
Mm,
previous
yeah.
non-president, where he didn't even put he put on a satanic ritualistic book, obviously. This
Good
time,
boy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Trump's wife was carrying two books. One, I think was they explain as like an old Bible of the family, another one on top. This time, when he originally made when he did become president in the previous administration, he put his hand on the Bible. This time he didn't. What do you think? Why do you think he didn't?
Can't swear in twice. They was they hired Kamala to fail miserably. That's her job.
Well, and also to cosplay brown women, so it brings more of a lower, perceiving brown women to be, you know, cooking greens in the bathtub, being, acting like a buffoon, just basically spoofing brown women. It's disgusting.
Yes. Anyway, so
I'm sorry.
he already is holding the office. The Biden administration gave them a 4-year extension to close out the corporation,
Mm,
right? The first thing he did was 50 executive orders.
mm.
Why the number 50?
That five is for change. That's a five, but I don't know why 50. 50 was it reminiscent of the stars? Or
It's 50 is the final flip. It's only 50 seats on the council. 50 is the final flip, the final seat.
mm,
I'm big 50. GD Prairie Dog, 4850. Knocked off 49 on the Pepe Le Pew, Pepper from the Pews.
holy cow. Okay.
So, so when you get to the final flip,
Hmm.
everything accelerates.
As we see, yeah. Now, question before you go further. Why is he doing the deeds of, I call them the Daros, but or rather the Israel? Why is he doing the bidding of Israel and not taking the stance of like saying that he would take over their lands? And also, why is he sitting with Netanyahu without any consequence or anything? Even though there was a little bit of dissension, which was like, which we saw, even though it looked like it was clean, there was a little bit of micro there was some micro hostility showing up when they sat together. What do you think about that?
You know, you know who Vanessa Williams was, right?
Of course.
Miss America.
Yes.
Joe Montana was playing his last big game, and they played her song "Save the Best for Last," and he came out in clown. And ain't time to deal with that right now.
Mm,
Create a compelling spectacle. Polarize the people. Confuse your enemy.
I understand. I understand.
Those people who's pretending to be Jews in Gaza and the West Bank in this makeshift country called Israel are
Mhm.
Ukrainians.
Yes, yes,
Before they were called Ukrainians, they was called Khazarians.
yes. Khazars, which are converts from Eastern Russia and Poland and Ukraine.
Right. That's different than the Sephardi.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Those are a different group of people. Them the ones saying that they Jews for Palestine
I,
because they don't agree with this
they
Khazarian.
don't. They don't. And they're
Yes.
very strong about it. Even in Brooklyn, over on Carroll Street, they've been protesting. They're not for it. No.
And, and a lot of them will flat out tell you those are not Jews, those
Well,
are
they say,
Zionists.
yeah. Well, we have friends who are,
We,
we have a friend who's there, and she's like, we don't associate with them. We want them to leave. Yeah,
yeah, those are Zionists. Zionists are a different group of people.
they are genetic.
Those are those are the byproducts of the concubines of the Moors when it was Prussia.
Speak, Rod.
During the Prussian rule, this was dismantled by Tsar Nicholas, which made them take over Russia with the Bolshevik Revolution,
Yes, yes.
right?
And they got to alter.
Vladimir Lenin set it off. Stalin furthered the agenda,
Mhm.
and Gorbachev tore down the wall.
That's right.
This is a stage show, political satire,
Mm.
theatrical performance of political elites that don't have no real power playing out a monopoly game.
Woo! Using everybody else as their pawns.
And as long as you don't know that you're being played, they're gonna keep playing you until you can't be played no more.
That's right. Absolutely.
Those people got their day coming. If he tell them people from that's really Palestinians to leave the West Bank, if I was them, I'd leave.
Mm.
Because who you leaving behind?
Mm-hmm.
X marks the spot.
Ooh. Clear the space so that the real consequence could come to those who deserve it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or as Rakim say, run for cover.
Woo! I know that's right. Now, what say you about what's happening in the Congo as well? You've heard about what's happening in the Congo with the mass destabilization. I think it's the same people. I think they're Israelis. They were mercenaries over there. And like whenever I lived in New York all my life, but when you go to the Diamond District, you don't see Africans selling gold and diamonds. You only see Jews,
Mm-hmm.
Ashkenazi Jews who monopolize
Well,
that.
okay, but you trace the diamonds back. The diamonds, any diamond on the market that doesn't come through the De Beers Corporation is considered a blood diamond.
That's right. That's right.
The De Beers company is the one who tags the diamond with its identifier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they are they are the monopoly in the diamond world. They are the ones who selected the Khazarian bankers to disseminate their diamonds. And they control the flow of the diamonds by controlling who they give it to.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
Right. So when we talking about the trade in gold and diamonds on the Gold Coast, this is why you primarily seeing what looked like a Hasidic Jew.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. The Sephardi, they the ones, those the Jews that gotta work their way up, just like us.
They do. They do. It's sad, but it's okay. Yeah.
And they ideologically do not agree with those other Zionist Jews
Yeah.
that's pushing the agenda of the more Zionist Jews.
Mm-hmm. And they're subjugated under marginalization when they're in Israel or anywhere else. It's seen as lower tier. Like the
Well,
NIC,
now, how did they get to be Jews?
who the Sephardic? Sephardic?
Yeah. When
Wasn't,
they, okay,
yeah.
look, they ousting the Moors from Europe. Moors are primarily Arabs.
Yes.
The people
Or North
that's
Africa.
being used
North Africa.
to exile them are primarily Christians.
Yeah.
The ones who converted as Sephardi didn't want to take sides in the war.
Oh, so they took a neutral position of something all the way on the other side.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so not to be a party of Islam or not to be a party to the Christianity. So they
Yeah.
took a neutral stance. Ah, interesting.
Both Dr. John Henry Clark and Dr. Bean do lectures on that European history,
Mhm.
how
I was
these people get to be Jews.
Dr. Jeffries was my professor. Who's
And he
actually,
did some lectures on them too. Yep.
yeah, yeah. That's how I learned about it when I was like 17. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
my friend.
So they end up being the ones who didn't want to be part of the religious cult of them homosexuals,
Oh,
never knowing that they getting caught into the cult of the trainer out of other two homosexual cults.
that's right. The Babylonian
Yeah.
satanic cult.
Because they didn't come with the Torah. They didn't come out of Babylon with the Torah. They came out of Babylon with the Talmud and the Mishnah.
Hmm.
This is where they got the Babylonian blood rights and all this child abuse in there for control.
And 100 and something genders.
Oh boy.
100 and something, Rod. I'm still trying to. I told you I'm a trans
I
everything.
can only I'm gender blind. I can only see two.
100 and something. We read them off one night. It's diabolical, Rod. It's crazy.
Religious doctrine told them that this is what the priest is supposed to do: suck on your baby pecker until he snatched
Oh,
the skin off. That's just the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
you
But
know,
it's in their literature.
it is because also, a lot of men are traumatized as babies because that's the first time a beautiful baby boy is born, and the first thing he has is a surgical procedure that's unnecessary, and then it also makes your wand less sensitive because the sheath goes over. It just protects the penis.
I figured it like this. If Mother Nature didn't think I needed foreskin, she wouldn't have gave it to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's just like if Mother Nature felt like that trans testicle should have been born a boy, he should have stayed a boy. Now he in his feelings because he got to put he was a boy on his passport.
Cool. I gotta use that. I'm gonna get a shirt. I'm gonna buy a shirt for me and you. We're gonna have trans testicles. We rebuke it. Could you imagine you think we get kicked out? They probably kick us out of everywhere. Trans testicles, like investigations.
No, I don't want to investigate him. I'm not that interested in him. Look, people can live their life, but stop trying to convert the kids to your alternative
Yeah, I'm
lifestyle.
I'm totally for it. I think you can be who you want to be. You want to be, Sylvester the cat on Sunday. You want to be, Elmer Fudd on Tuesday. You can do it. I agree. Promoting that and propagating that to little people and putting that in the educational system is criminal. Criminal. And for that bastard who calls his son, Zoe, you know what we're talking about, with his man wife, uh, let me stop being messy. Letting that boy walk around 7 feet tall saying he's a girl. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Isn't that the
Well,
sacrifice?
once he get to become a man, you can't tell him whether he can walk like around dressed like a woman or not. But I tell you this: somebody failed him was teaching him the difference between a man and a woman.
Exactly. But his father was cross-dressing. That was his example. Going to the Diddy parties, putting that pink cocaine in the lotion. You know what I'm saying?
Look, all I'm gonna tell you like this: them people go over there and do what them people do is leave me out of it.
Mm. Can you imagine you go to a party, you chilling, everybody's cool, and then like midnight, like the Cinderella clock goes off, ding, and then everybody is out there dressed like, Cinderella and her sisters, her ugly stepsisters, run around butt naked with petroleum jelly, throwing it around like it's football. I'm sorry, Rod. I'm being very
And
inappropriate. I apologize for you. You'll never want to come on the show again. Oh,
Well, you got some listeners that need to get the tea, so I'll let you give them a little
you know what
tea.
I'm saying? Stay away from the lotion. Say no to the lotion. You know what I'm saying? It might knock you out. You wake up with like Tinkerbell skirts on, singing all kinds of songs from the 1970 Cartoon Network. Anyway, okay, so let's maybe we need to. Does anyone want to talk to Rod? I don't want to hold Rod because I could talk to Rod all night. He's let me be. He's let me be me. You let me be my true self. You know what I mean?
Can't get the best out of somebody. You trying to make be somebody you want them to be. You got to let them be who they are.
Thank you. You know, let me just be who I want to be. You know, YouTube should learn that. I've been on YouTube for like 12 years and they still don't get it. You know? My God. Okay, so Rod, you want to take some questions and comments, you think?
Sure.
Okay. We're so calm tonight. You know what I mean? Oh, we got 1.6 thousand people in here listening to our shenanigans. Okay, let me get the link for them. Anyway, and please everyone, Rod, can you remind them of your where to find you? And I'm gonna put your Cash App link. Show appreciation to the SikApe.
And affect the global economy. You ain't have to worry
What's
about
up,
that.
Chief?
What's going on with you, Chief?
Man, wow. I just sent my request, man. That's crazy. You all right?
Yeah, a lot of them don't be going through, man. A couple people went out and requested to come in a couple times. They ain't came in yet.
You want to know something, man? I'm gonna share this real quick before we even start. So I be Uber. I'm in Michigan. I'm in right now I'm in Roseville. I be Ubering,
Hmm.
right? Every time a Pontiac ride pop up, I try to take it. I'm like, I hope I bump into Chief.
Listen, inbox me. I'm right up the street from you.
For sure. Oh, I'm hip. I'm hip. I know. I'm hip. But man, that's crazy. I was just vibing with what you was talking about with the OG. I was just vibing with that, and I'm like, wow, they speaking right to me because everything that you was saying, I'm going through. Like, fell out with two of my close friends. One, my brother, he was my foster brother. All over $25, bro.
Was
25.
your relation was your relationship with him more valuable than $25?
To me, it was because what's money?
Okay, you gonna let that go?
It's the way people play you though. You right though. And then I did try to like bro, what's up with that? Because your word is your word. So when I call you and I mention something, you like, oh, I got you later on today. I'm like, dang, especially when I could use it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't rich, but I look out for people because
But you
if
know,
I
but when you realize that you really couldn't afford to give it to him, it ain't his fault. You abused yourself and misused yourself.
trying to help
Yeah,
others,
and, and
that's my problem.
yeah,
I'm, I'm a Gemini, so it's like it's in me. Like I feel happy when I
but you
make
gotta
other
apply
people happy.
one rule, and Pac had to learn this too. Um, as a Gemini, y'all got that giving spirit. You always want to see everybody, but you got to take care of you first. You're not qualified to help nobody until you help you first. If you're not in the position where you can be lending people money that's gonna hurt you later on, you can't afford to lend it to them.
That's deep what you said. That key word or key words later on, because I'll be having it to where I can give it, but at that moment. But like you said, the later on when I need it back, you told me you was gonna pay me back Friday or whatever the case is. I needed that Friday or whatever, That was deep.
Hmm. Well, why next time they say I'm gonna pay you back Friday, say you know what, I'm just gonna hold on to it till Friday.
Mm.
Because you put yourself in the adversarial position towards somebody you care about, risking the relationship to give them something you can't afford to let them have.
Okay. So if the relationship fall apart based on me saying I ain't got it or I can't give it, it ain't meant for me to be messing with them anyway, huh?
No, that's because then it becomes selfish agenda on their part. You have to know what your situation is. You can't help somebody from a losing position. You can't if you got a hole in your gas tank, you can't keep giving everybody a ride for $1 when it costs you 200 to fill it up and it's gonna run right back out anyway. You got to make sure your tank's secure before you start putting out. That way, when you don't care about it, it makes room for the reciprocity to kick in and to come back. You might not
It was
see how it's going to come back, but don't worry about that part. The part you worry about is I'm in the position, it's not going to hurt me. Yeah, I don't even want it back, dog. We ain't finna put our relationship through that struggle. It's not necessary. Yeah.
That's deep. I never heard that before. Like I never looked at situations from that perspective before until I just heard you speaking before I got on here.
Yeah, it's
I'm
them,
wow.
them lessons my father taught me, man. This is why when I be teaching a lot of stuff, I be teaching stuff that I learned in my family first, and then I connect all of the dots with other information using the unified field theory, and it make me easier to assimilate the lessons that my parents gave me, and that takes me back to my mama used to always tell me, honor your mother and your father, and your days may be long on this earth. You get wisdom from both sides. You mostly get knowledge from dad and wisdom from mama, but the knowledge from dad ties you back to mama's wisdom. So when I come on here and I tell people stuff like what I'm telling you now, you can't do that because you're setting yourself up for failure, and it's too much of a struggle as it is not to create adverse conditions that we don't have to create. Brandy, you bet you absolutely right. That's why we need the chiefs to walk the land because I'm still needing my elders for proper guidance. And I know that the youth under me gonna need elders for proper guidance. And even when I make mistakes, because sometimes I might pronounce the wrong book that I got something out of or something, people be thinking, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I got so much information to sift through that sometimes it don't always come out accurately. But if you listen to what I'm saying, you can research the subject matter of what I'm saying. The perspective I'm giving you is how I see what I've taken in by reading the historical narrative and seeing the results of what's playing on around me. And then, if you know what A, B, and C is, it's going to show you what D, E, and F is. But if you don't know what A, B, and C is, you just stuck at C trying to get to D.
Yeah. I've been aligning myself with like my purpose. I feel like it's through music. Cause like I make some nice beats. My music, like I'm not rapping. Um, what everybody else do. I don't even just rap. I consider myself a music artist because I paint beats with my voice.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like my calling is dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere in music, whether it's either going to school and getting the full whatever the top degree in that. So like I know you can heal through music and stuff like that. I want to go as deep as that, not just making beats and entertainment purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
it's naturally in me.
yeah, so this as long as that's what you call following your heart's desire, right? We all have an artistic ability. Very few of us follow that as a means to develop our income or our lifestyle or anything. But once the ones of us that do is only focused on the money, they're not doing it for the love of the art. And they quality is gonna always be lacking when they put it up against somebody who loved the art. Hey, Crystal.
We just witnessed that happen,
Mhm.
huh? Man.
Love of the art gonna always outshine the love of the money.
That's
J.
dope.
Cole.
I kind of already figured that though. Like I never been pressed about the money. I always, since I started doing music in 7th grade, I was like, good dope sell itself.
Yeah. And
So that
then
was always my
yeah.
approach.
As a musician, you got tools of a magician in your hand when you making beats. You just don't know it yet. You
I learned that from Daylight.
you can program the song that every time it get a spin, it's contagious. So they got to share it by putting it in your lyrics. You can literally say that in the song and motherfuckers gonna share it. Especially if the quality matched the arrogance.
Man, it kind of do, and it's like natural. I used to write, now I punch, and I master how I want to say certain stuff. I do like 15, 20 takes just to say one bar because I wanted to hit right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
And then
deep.
that's also the purpose of stacking.
You got multiple
Yeah.
versions in there.
When you layer that track, it makes the voice richer and um, more. It stands out more. Hold on one second.
That's deep.
Somebody in the comments asked me about tarot cards. This is my Talisman Oracle deck. This is my crystal deck. The crystal deck is actually is the um it's like a collector card for a stone. They got all the crystals, tell you the back, but you can use these in oracle readings. This is my gold deck. No,
I've been
this ain't
seeing a
the
lot of
gold deck. It's just another deck. My gold, I got a gold deck in here. This is an oracle deck. This is my gold deck. I like these bad boys. I read these, they were so potent.
man. I want to pick on something that I heard you say several times.
Mhm.
You said the kids got it.
Yes.
I
You
believe it.
the youth got it, man. I can hear it in the new music that's coming out. They ain't talking about trap spot. They don't give a fuck about no trap spot. They don't care about no booty shaking. All they know is about this land. This is a training deck, tarot training deck. This is Egyptian deck.
They all work differently, like hit different aspects or whatever.
The energy is different for each deck. Look, these Trivial Pursuit cards. I know my tarot reading so how cold I can use these cards, these regular cards from Trivial Pursuit, and I can do an oracle read from them.
From Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, it's my universal wisdom oracle deck. Right now, I ain't got so good at them. It be spooky when I read them. Right, I be shook.
You said that like last week. I seen you say that on something recently, like probably within a month time. I heard you say that you don't like messing with them like that because it was something dealing with that.
Yeah, that should be spooky accurate. Look, I can listen to a tarot reader and I can fill in the blanks of what they missing by listening to how they interpret the deck.
Only certain people could play with. Like you got to have a certain ability to be able to. I ain't gonna say play with them, but to read the energy from those
Those
cards,
are
right?
the tarot cards are training tools for clairvoyance and clairaudience. So imagine that you wanted to develop your psychic abilities. You can use the tarot deck as the training tool to feel and read the energy. Once you use them for a while, like now, I can see the tarot cards. If I'm in tarot mode when I'm walking down the street, I can see the tarot cards play out in front of me.
Real time.
Mhm.
That's fire.
So they read with regular decks too. I got a gold and silver regular deck for reading too.
So what regular deck mean?
Regular deck is a standard 52 card deck. Those are all lower arcana and court cards. there's no what they call major arcana in them. So you reading what's known as the pip cards.
Okay, okay.
Love this deck though. Talisman Oracle.
That's your favorite one. That's top in top
I
five. That's number one.
don't know if it's number one, but I love these bad boys. I like the art design.
Ooh.
And on the back, they got like all that the feel of them because they're not made out of paper.
Yeah.
And this is an Oracle deck. It's not a standard tarot deck.
I'm gonna have to look all that up.
Yeah. And a lot of decks come with a mini booklet, a guide to how to read, right? But you have to, once you get to the point where you can learn how to write your own interpretation method, that's when your skills gonna take off. That's
I,
when
I
they
might,
that's when they blow up.
life might take me to that. The universe might lead me to doing it because I did my own birth chart.
I know how to do I read runes, oracle, tarot, but and I read numerology, gematria. See, numerology is the meaning of the numbers.
That's what B Dale be doing, right?
Right. No, he be doing gematria. Gematria is the number code within any given thing. Everything on earth has a number code tied to it. No matter what we do, it's going to be numbers tied to it. All of the alphabets have numerical values. Different languages, the numerical value vary across languages. So you be able to do the gematria and know what the meaning of the numbers is, and it'll literally tell you something like direct.
For days, right? Since you on the numbers, for days, I keep catching my birthday. I keep catching 6:15. It's in the time though. It's only in the clock. Like I just randomly look up and it'd be 6:15.
Mm-hmm. That's 66. That's you rising up. Um, 6 is man, 7 is perfected man. 66 is the man searching for his path. 666 is the man has found his path and he's looking to become a 7 now.
Wow, that's deep because I did my name too. I did my name. Kamal, it's an Arabic name. It means perfection or completeness. And it says something about it aligns with me searching for my purpose or whatever, right? Middle name Gabriel. That's what it said, God is my strength or something like that. And then it said messenger protector.
Mm-hmm.
Last name don't really matter because you know that came from you know where that came from.
It still matters.
Cottrell.
Mm-hmm. Cottrell is not a European name. You should look it up.
I looked it up. They didn't tell me. It didn't tell me much. I'm gonna look it up again. It didn't tell me much about Cottrell.
How you spell?
Kittrell.
You know what? That's probably why, because your family changed the name of it. Because I mean the spelling of it. Yeah, because the name Cottrell, Cottrell.
Okay, that's the original.
Yeah. And then you got variations: Kittle, literal, Cottrell, Buttrell, Littrell, Kettell, Cottrell. They say these are European surnames, but they're not saying what they mean.
See, that's what happened with me.
Hold on. pertained to a settlement in Europe called the Cottrell Settlement, which is located between Preston and Garstang in the county of Lancashire. The Domesday Book of 1086 lists this place as Catrihala. Yeah, so it's a lot of ways you can look that name up, but as it's given as Catrell from Cattrall, the CAT is the cat, TER is the terror earth, and the AL is the EL, which is the Moors of Europe.
My artist name, I did my artist name too, which is the name that you see, which is my Facebook name, right? And it's double meaning. So I just randomly made that name one day.
What is it?
And Gang God, I made that one word, Gang God, space coding. And I broke that, got that name defined to me. And I'm like, bro, how do I keep doing this? Like I keep
I'm gonna take it a little further for you. Gang, G is the seventh letter, mean master. Ang is the avatar.
Okay.
So look at your rap name again. Chosen avatar, a god.
Man. The double meaning that I got was like a statement to the world. Gang God.
It is. Because that's a message that you want your music to carry with it. Look, my rap name is my real name, is the name that I gave myself. It's Morpheus Mysticus Magus. The name Morpheus, Morpheus, is an alchemically infused name. So if I would have stayed with the music, when you have 100,000 people saying more free us, more free us, right? And it's the whole alchemical breakdown. I had did a post on it some years ago, but the alchemical breakdown is to free us from the dirty Moors, to free us more than we were before when they came. We want to get back to liberation. So you put the code in the name. So when the people chanting the name, they're empowering you to act on their behalf to give them liberation.
I feel that.
It made me when I was getting the name together, what made it so what made me do it that way is I was learning the power of sigils, and I was learning the power of mass groups of people channeling the energy frequency. So while I was doing that, and I was like, yeah. So if I do, because I got skills. So
I could believe it.
while I was sitting there putting my skills together, and I was trying to come up with a name, I said, I want something that if I could get thousands of people say it, it'd be tied to our liberation, right? And that's what made me pick the name Morpheus. As the
Great minds think
outlaw name is.
I was about to say something else. I forgot what I was about to say. It might come back to me. Man.
Yeah.
Dang, I don't be wanting to cut you off because you be, I be needing that. Like this whole conversation, I need that, man. That just turned me up. I'm probably about to get up and make some music in a minute when we get off here.
Yeah, sigil is code. You write an app for the brain when you writing a sigil. That's a good science to learn. And then once you know how to write them, you can go use old sigils been charged by elders over a prolonged period of time. You can use them and even draw from the power of the ancients that way.
Oh, you just brought it back to me when you mentioned the ancients. That's crazy. So, I came to the conclusion that my spirit animal is the wolf, the lone wolf.
How'd you come to that conclusion?
Okay, I told you I make beats. So, soon as soon as you push play, you're gonna hear a wolf howl. I don't know what made me like that idea, but every beat I make, that's how it start off. You're gonna hear a wolf howling and going into the beat or whatever. I resonated more with it when I was presented with a selection of different animals that could have possibly been my spirit animal.
Mhm.
And I looked at all of them, read like the reason why they felt that was a match for me. And I'm like, well, the only one I truly resonate with is the wolf, because I already, before I had that conversation, I already was using the wolf for years in my beats. And then my mentality, like I love the idea of a pack, but for some reason, I don't know if I intimidate people. I don't know if my energy just, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't know what's the sign behind that, but friends, family, I'm isolated. Like, it wasn't by choice. Now it's becoming more by choice because I'm more wiser, and I just don't want to be around all the sleep talk and, people paying attention to things that don't matter. People not caring about what they eat and their health and stuff like that. I care about this stuff because it affects you. But a lot of people, they hit me with the, oh, we gonna die anyway. Oh, you can't stop nothing. Which, you know what I'm saying?
So
So I just,
wait, pump the brakes right there. We gonna die anyway. Let's deal with that. We gonna die anyway, but that means you gotta stop living because you gonna die one day.
that'd be my point. Or stop fighting. You know what I'm saying? They content, they pacified the system, then pacified a lot of my family, for one, because I don't have not one that I could really talk to genuinely about like how we talking, or share them your videos and they really understand. The mindset I got right now, I feel like I can go to school for anything because I comprehend stuff. I never been like no dummy or nothing like that. I dropped out of school. I got my GED though on my own time while still being in the streets. I just woke up one morning like, you know what, let me go do this for my mama. You know what I'm saying? Went down there, passed the test, first try, flying colors. Passed every test, flying colors.
Mm-hmm. That's what I did in the county. I got my GED in the county. But I was sitting there and I was like, shit, I ain't got nothing else to do. Lady, Miss Morgan is her name. Well, she was Miss Freeman was her name.
Mm-hmm.
She was sitting up there and she she was asking anybody, she was just start handing out homework, math paper, English papers. She was passing them out. She was assessing the grade level. She called me up there after I did some assignments. She said, "You want to take your GED?" I said, "I ain't never thought about it." She said, "I think you can pass it." I said, "You think I can pass it?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Let me do a couple more homework assignments to get in shape for it," and I tried. She said, "That's good
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to take about 2 weeks and then you'll be able to go down there and take it." I went down there and took it and passed it. That's my highest education. Oh, I got a couple certificates in culinary arts and janitorial services when I was locked up, but formal education, I got a GED. I call it my guerrilla educational degree because I had to use guerrilla tactics to self-educate. They didn't know what I was doing, but I did. Yeah.
You gotta, you gotta enlighten me on that guerrilla tactics.
Yeah. So the guerrilla tactics is the smaller force fighting a superior force need a different set of strategy and tactics as the superior force to fight the smaller force. So they resort to what's known as guerrilla warfare.
Mm.
And it's generally characterized as a small band of soldiers joining together to fight a superior force.
Okay.
My cousin said I was always smart in school anyway. Yeah, I was in special ed the whole time. Yeah,
Man, I needed
yeah,
this. I needed
yeah.
this.
Hey, I'm gonna let you drop down. I'm gonna take, I think, another caller or two, then I'm gonna call it a night.
For sure. I appreciate you to help me with so much,
For
man.
sure, for sure,
Thank you.
man. I appreciate being able to help.
Respect you.